How you doing, YouTube family? Today is Wednesday, February the 11th, 2026. It's your man, Big D, and I'm back with another one. Want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land for continuing to rock out with my son and I. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, family, I'm back with another video, and I want to continue talking about this thing that's going on in CERN, Switzerland. Um, Basically, they have the Hadron Collider, which is supposed to be the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator, and it pushes protons and ions to near the speed of light. So, family, there is something that is weird going on at this facility. And when they initially started up this particle accelerator, things have started to become kind of warped. Reality seems to be a little out of sorts. Not real subtle, but ever so slightly. You barely, if you didn't pay attention, you miss it. And I have this video where this this lady is going to basically break down what her thoughts are and what's going on over here at this facility. Because I assure you, family, I don't feel that it is something that is going to benefit mankind. So, family, let's see if we can pull something out of this video.
Well, an entity came from this portal, and like it sat at the table.
Her name is Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger, and she's talking about the work being done at CERN. She's a scientist, researcher, and public health expert who has worked closely with governments and international organizations for over 20 years. She's credentialed, respected, and has access to circles most of us will never enter. But in 2016, at a dinner in Portugal, she found herself seated next to two physicists from CERN. What they told her that night would change everything she thought she knew about reality. Officially, CERN's mission is to study the fundamental structure of the universe, to smash particles together at near light speed and observe what happens. In 2012, they announced the discovery of the so-called God particle, a triumph of modern physics. Nobel Prizes were awarded, the world celebrated. But since then, silence. Billions more spent. The collider runs continuously, and we hear almost nothing about what they're actually doing. There's occasional vague statements about exploring extra dimensions, mentions of portal experiments and dark matter research, cryptic references to opening doors and unknown unknowns. And then there are the symbols. The statue of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction, prominently displayed at CERN headquarters, the strange rituals and ceremonies, the occult imagery that seems woven into the facility's very identity. What are they really doing down there? What have they found? And why does the largest scientific experiment in human history feel like it's shrouded in mystery? Dr. Stuckelberger wanted answers, and in 2016, she got more than she bargained for. During this time, she was in Portugal attending a dinner hosted by a colleague. She's seated at a table with two physicists, one from CERN in Geneva, one from CERN in Portugal.
And I sat at their table, and I was like so happy not to be in a boring table.
She decides to ask them the questions that have been nagging at her. Her first question is simple. How many dimensions are you working with at CERN?
I said, so how many dimensions officially are living in the CERN? And they both said 17, very affirmatively.
When she asks for documentation for proof, they tell her they don't have any. They just know it's 17. They work there, but they can't prove it. But then she presses further. She wants to know if anything has ever come through from another dimension, if they have any evidence, any proof.
And they said, well, yes, there is something. And then they started talking about the CERN portal. There's a portal for the LHC. There's a door, a round door, like in the Stargate. So in front of the door, they have a room. They probably have many doors, but they have a room, and they sit around the table. And I said, so yeah, what happened? He said, well, and then came from this portal, and like sat at the table. I was,
She asks what it looked like. Was it human? Was it alien? What color was it? They can't answer. They don't know. The information is secondhand and they can't describe it. But there's one detail they can confirm. One piece of physical evidence.
and they said that this entity the second time took a scarf and left a scarf. I said, what type of scarf in it? They don't know. They're not into the detail. They were really into the event and not the detail. And this entity left again.
After that dinner, Dr. Stuckelberger began investigating. She started looking into CERN's official statements, their research agenda, their public announcements. And she found something disturbing. In 2024, CERN announced they would be restarting the Large Hadron Collider on April 8th, the date of a major solar eclipse.
Top scientists at the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, says that the Titanic machine may possibly create or discover on 8th of April for the eclipse previously unimagined scientific phenomenon or unknown unknowns. For instance, an extra dimension.
The former director of research at CERN, Sergio Bertolucci, made a statement.
Who says, out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. But that even with the power of the LHC at his disposal, he would only be able to hold it open a very tiny lapse of time, 10 to 26 seconds, but during that infinitesimal amount of time, we would be able to peer into this open door, either by getting something out of it or sending something into it.
10 to the minus 26 seconds, an incomprehensibly brief moment. But Bertolucci says that's enough time to peer into the open door, to get something out, or send something in. And then he adds, of course there would be no risk to the stability of our world. No risk, they promise. And now CERN wants to expand. They want to build a 91-kilometer ring, almost 4 times larger than what they have now. As Dr. Stuckelberger dug deeper, she discovered something that made her question everything about CERN's true purpose. The name itself, CERN.
The name comes from Cernunnos, the god of the deer. And the deer in Latin is Cernunnos. But it is an animal, beautiful, but it's an animal with horns. And that's their cult.
Cernunnos, the Celtic horned god, the lord of the wild, associated with fertility, life, death, and the underworld. And the location isn't random either. CERN was deliberately built on the site of an ancient temple to Apollo, the Greek god of prophecy, truth, and light, but also plague and destruction. But the most disturbing revelation came from a public ceremony, one that was televised, one that everyone saw but few understood. In 2016, Switzerland inaugurated the Gotthard Base Tunnel, the world's longest railway tunnel. It's located near CERN, and the opening ceremony was bizarre.
And during the inauguration, our official politicians were standing there looking at the CERN open door with angels and demons going through it, and very crazy naked, looking naked dance with horns on their heads.
Government officials from across Europe sat and watched as performers dressed as demons and angels emerged from a circular portal. Horned figures, sexual imagery, death symbolism. This wasn't a normal ceremony. This was a ritual, broadcast to the world. And then Dr. Stuckelberger found the newspaper article.
This newspaper had on the second page the Lord of the Ring, a ring of the Lord of the Ring of Sauron, and it was written, they took the real image of the ring, and the title was, and under it was the CERN, linked to it to the CERN. And the title was, and I have it in front of me in French, so I'll translate it, Guarantee of Collusion, Magic or Evil? Question mark.
A Swiss newspaper compared CERN's planned 91-kilometer ring to the One Ring from Lord of the Rings, the Ring of Power, the Ring of Evil. And she discovered something else, something that occultists know but most people don't.
They have a rule in their secret societies and stuff that they have to tell us the truth. They have to tell us. If we do not say, no, I don't consent to your ring, um, then the door is open for them to do what they want. There is like it's like a pact that they impose on us without our consent, or no consent is consent for them.
It's called predictive programming, or revelation of the method, the idea that dark forces must reveal their plans. If we don't object, our silence is consent. They told us, they showed us, and we said nothing. Dr. Stuckelberger's investigation didn't stop with CERN's portal experiments and occult connections. What she discovered was part of a much larger pattern. She found connections to alien technology operating at the nanoscale, materials and circuits that don't follow known physics, implants removed from people that surgeons can't cut or manipulate using conventional methods. She believes humanity is currently splitting into different timelines, different dimensions, that our planet's frequency is changing, the Schumann resonance is increasing, and not everyone will make the shift.
Somebody said 60% people will disappear like that when the frequency will change.
She suggests the electric grid, the 5G networks, the technology that surrounds us, it's all designed to keep our frequency low, to prevent us from naturally evolving into higher dimensions. So let's review what we've learned. An entity came through a portal at CERN and sat at a table. It took a scarf from our dimension and left. 2 physicists confirmed this happened, though they couldn't describe what the entity looked like. CERN is reportedly working with 17 dimensions, not just the 4 we experience. Yet they can't provide documentation or proof of this. On April 8, 2024, during a solar eclipse, CERN attempted to open a door to another dimension, to either bring something through or send something back. The facility is built on ancient temple sites, named after a horned god, surrounded by occult symbolism and bizarre rituals performed in front of world leaders. And now they want to expand, to build a ring almost 4 times larger than what they currently have. Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger isn't the only person asking these questions, but she might be one of the few with the credentials and access to get real answers. She believes we're at a crossroads, that humanity is waking up, that the lies are becoming too obvious to ignore. $13 billion, 27 kilometers underground, 17 dimensions, entities crossing through portals. Are they searching for the God particle? Unlocking the secrets of the universe? Pushing the boundaries of human knowledge? Or are they opening doors that were meant to stay closed, playing with forces they don't fully understand, inviting things into our reality that don't belong here? Maybe they're not trying to give us access to other dimensions. Maybe they're trying to give other dimensions access to us. The machine is running right now, deep beneath Switzerland and France, smashing particles together at nearly the speed of light, opening doors to the unknown.
An entity came from this portal, and like it sat at the table.
And next time, it might take something more than a scarf. So what do you think? Is CERN really just doing particle physics research? Or is there something deeper happening beneath Switzerland? Let me know your thoughts.
I personally believe that there is something more going on besides looking for this God particle. Now, I do believe that they need to find this particle, and they need to acquire enough of it to where, in my opinion, I believe that there is something. There are dark forces that, for the most part, they're held back from coming into our dimension. However, every now and again, they can bleed through. They can cross over, but their power may be limited. But and but that's because of the veil that's in place. Who put the veil in place? I don't know, but something did. And then let's go and look at the ritual. These people broadcasted a ritual across the planet for all those who wanted to watch it and fall up under the spell or whatever this ritual that they're uh trying to push forward on. Listen, I don't understand what is the narrative behind having people dressed like angels, some dressed like animals, hybrid animals, demons, whatever you want to call them. Why why do this? And from what I understand, there's always some sort of ritual going on at this location. So family, you got we went from trying to locate the God particle so they allegedly can determine what happened um at the point of the Big Bang, but I believe that it's something a lot more nefarious. I believe that there are entities that have the ability to contact certain humans and they promise certain things, but in return, they have to bring them into our reality, our dimension. Family, it's a lot more going on here than what meets the eye. And we can get wrapped up in politics. We can get wrapped up in dating. We can get wrapped up in a multitude of things, but we must admit that something strange is going on. Look how fast 2025 disappeared. And 2024, it was a blur. 2023, I don't remember it. So there is something going on with our reality. Time seems to have sped up. There seems to be some sort of quickening that's going on. And you see that there now you have the government that are openly talking about extraterrestrial life, entities, beings that are not from our planet or our reality. So now they are telling the world this because they want to condition you so that when these beings and entities finally show up, you won't be caught off guard. You won't be amazed. You won't be in awe. So, family, we got to start looking at things from a totally different perspective. Because what does it, what good does it you go out and you become very wealthy or rich, or you wind up marrying your dream person, or you end up getting your dream job, your dream career. What good is it if you are not going to be around to enjoy it? What good is it if these people are working on a machine that will open a doorway into our reality? And they are doing it right in front of our faces. As I said before they can do anything, they must let humanity know. And if humanity dismisses it as, oh, that's just a science fiction movie, oh, that's just, that's not real. It's AI. Listen, if no consent or no resistance is just like consent, like the good doctor said. So, family, there are some things that are not right in our reality. And I'm gonna show you another video that's going to kind of prove exactly what I'm talking about. But we got to start taking these baby steps towards knowledge and truth and wisdom, because you can get caught up in this matrix. And if you get caught up in this matrix, you'll wind up not realizing what's real, what's not real. Your discernment will be all over the place. So, family, do your own research. Do your own research, but you need to start researching, because if you get caught up in this matrix, in this world, you're going to we're going to find ourselves in a world of hurt. And that's just the way it is, family. It's just no other way of putting it. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.